Europe, can the European companies outperform the US companies also this year?
Yes, so we did see those European equities, albeit mainly on the value side, outperform the US in 2025. And there is potential for European companies to outperform the US again. And there are several factors that we're looking for to see that come through. The first of that is we have seen increasing interest from clients to diversify some of their exposure away from the US due to extreme positioning. But also the valuation discount in the European companies and equities that we're seeing compared to the US is also helping to make the region look more attractive. So if we look at European value, the biggest sector in that benchmark is financials. And they were buoyed by a steep yield curve, which boosted their profitability when it comes to lending activity. And so, again, those increased expectations of defence spending that we've highlighted across Europe has lifted defence stocks, and that's also boosted the industrial sector. And that has contributed to some of the recent outperformance coming from European equities. But we want to sustain that outperformance. So we need to see more evidence of increasing earnings growth just beyond those sectors. So again, we're looking for structural growth drivers, resilient business models, and those quality companies to really benefit from that compelling opportunity. For example, the aerospace aftermarket and mining aftermarket sectors are expected to continue their strength, and that's driven by some factors that we're seeing like lower oil prices and strong commodity prices. So if European companies can demonstrate consistent earnings growth, capitalize on those valuation anomalies that we're seeing, there is potential to outperform the US in the coming years. So that's the combination of attractive valuations, structural growth drivers, and interest in diversifying away from the US. And that's a really attractive backdrop. So for us, investors should be focusing on long-term earnings and cash flows. Over time, these are the clearest drivers of equity returns over extended periods. So this is where it comes back to those high-quality companies we touched on at the start. Those structural growth drivers, high-quality companies should provide the best visibility into long-term earnings trajectory.
From the European equities, Kate, thanks for being with us. It's a pleasure to have you here. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Good afternoon.
Thank you. Good day, Kate. Bueno, pues como veían, repasando los mercados europeos, comparando también con Estados Unidos en un día marcado por estas tensiones geopolíticas, precisamente vamos a contarles el cierre en Europa de la mano de Nordea.
Nordea Asset Management le ofrece el cierre de los mercados europeos.
Europa que cierra en negativo esta penúltima sesión de la semana, contagiada por estas fuertes caídas hoy en el Nasdaq, en el oro, en la plata, subidas en el petróleo ante estas tensiones geopolíticas. Vamos a empezar mirando al Eurostoxx 50. Se deja un 0,70% y cierra esta penúltima sesión de la semana en los 5.891 puntos. Les decíamos ayer que se acerca a los 6.000, ahora se acerca más a los 5.800. Vamos a ver al IBEX 35, también con caídas algo más ligeras, aguanta el tipo, la Bolsa de Madrid que se deja un 0,10% hasta los 17.589 puntos. Miramos ahora a la Bolsa de Frankfurt, el DAX alemán, es uno de los grandes batacazos del día de hoy, se deja un 2,02% hasta los 24.319 puntos. Vamos a mirar ahora a la Bolsa de París, es la única que realmente ha aguantado el tipo hoy en Europa, viene prácticamente plana, pero sube un poquito, un 0,06% arriba hasta los 8.071 puntos. Miramos ahora a Italia, el MIPTEL italiano, también ha aguantado el tipo, pero ha caído, ha cerrado en negativo, 0,14% abajo hasta los 45.075 puntos, mientras que por último el FTSE 100 de Londres también viene en positivo, también aguanta, 0,17% arriba hasta los 10.171 enteros. Pendientes de Europa, en medio de las tensiones geopolíticas, sobre todo hoy, fuertes caídas en el DAX. Se lo contamos de la mano de Nordea.
Nordea Asset Management le ha ofrecido el cierre de los mercados europeos.
Desde los mercados europeos volvemos a mirar a Estados Unidos hoy con estas fuertes caídas en el Nasdaq, con estas amenazas sobre Irán. Reunión de gabinete. Escuchamos ya a Donald Trump.
Different forces and the American flag and various others. It's, I think, quite spectacular. It's never looked this good. and hopefully we're going to do work that's never been as good. So I think that's basically what's happened in our first year. We've had an amazing year, and this will be our first cabinet after the year, so we're starting our second year. Tremendous progress has been made. I want to thank my entire cabinet for 12 months of unprecedented achievements. We really have. I mean, it's unprecedented. The numbers we've had on the economy and growth, you see them, and that's despite a Democrat shutdown. Without the shutdown, we would have picked up about 1.5 points more than already high numbers, record-setting numbers. So this has been, I think, and a lot of people say it, the most successful year of any administration in American history. First year, there's never been a first year like this, including the fact that we extinguished 8 wars, and another one we think is coming. Steve Witkoff's working very hard, and Jared and everybody else, and I think it's coming. It was just announced that the murder rate in our country is the biggest drop ever recorded. It's at the lowest level in 125 years. First in recorded history, it's the lowest in at least 125 years. It's a wonderful thing. And the crime is way down, and one of the reasons was we've taken a lot of bad people and gotten them out of our country. In some cases, they're so bad that we put them in prison because we don't want them to even take a chance of coming back in, even though our border is very secure, record-setting secure. We had 0 illegal aliens being admitted into our country for the last 8 months. That's hard for even me to believe, but the people that make up the lists are supposedly nonpartisan, but I would say they lean toward the Democrat side. And if they say that, I'm all for it. As you know, we've had a situation take place with respect to Venezuela.